So right now, nearly half of all the homes in Rochester are selling below asking price. And that sentence probably surprises you. But everything you've heard about Rochester's real estate market is that it's competitive, it's tight, and it favors sellers. And part of that is still really true. But this week's data tells a more complicated story. And if you're buying, you're selling, or you're moving here for the Mayo Clinic, you need to understand what's happening before you make your next move. So here's what the numbers say. According to Zillow's latest Rochester market data, 48.4% of homes are selling below list price. At the same time, 26% of homes are still selling above list price with multiple offers. Now, days on market for the broader region have jumped 19% year over year, and Minnesota just recorded the highest number of price reductions since 2016. And inventory here in southeastern Minnesota, the region that includes Rochester and all of its suburbs, is up 15% compared to last year. But here's the other side of that same coin. The most well-priced, move-in ready homes in Rochester are still going under contract in 2 weeks. Some are still drawing multiple offers. Now, the competition has not disappeared. It's concentrated. This is what a split market looks like. It's not a buyer's market. It's not the frenzied seller's market of 2022. It is a strategy market, and the rules are completely different depending on which side of the split your home or your search lands on. I'm Kelly Domaille with Domaille Real Estate at eXp Realty, right here in Rochester, Minnesota. Now, my husband Bruce and I, we help buyers, sellers, and relocation clients, especially those moving here for the Mayo Clinic, make smart, confident decisions in this market every single week. Now let's talk about what it means if you're selling. If you've been watching your neighbor's home sit on the market for 60 days, here's why that happened. Overpriced homes are not selling. Not slowly, not with a small cut. They're sitting, they're accumulating days on market, and ultimately they're going to sell for less than what they would have if they would have just been priced right on day one. Now, the buyers in this market are payment sensitive. Rates are around 6.5% right now in Minnesota. And at those rates, every $10,000 in price matters to a buyer's monthly payment. Now, sellers who understand that are moving quickly. Sellers who price based on what they want to net rather than what the market will bear are the ones generating that 48% below list number. Now, the sellers who win this spring and summer in Rochester are priced sharp from the start. They're staged well and they have their home in genuinely move-in condition. Now, that combination still generates competition. That combination still moves fast, and anything short of that, and you're on the wrong side of the split. Now, here's what this means if you're buying. You have more leverage right now than you have had in years. This is not a guess. That's what the data tells us. Nearly half of Rochester sellers are accepting below list offers. Days on the market are up, and inventory is up 15% in southeast Minnesota. That means negotiation is on the table again for the first time since before the pandemic. You do not need to waive your inspection on every home. You do not need to come in 10% over asking on the house that's been sitting for 45 days. Read the market and use it. Here is the move. Target homes that have been on the market for 30 days or more. These sellers have already adjusted their expectations. Come in with a strong offer, but not a panicked offer. Do your homework on what comparable homes sold for, not what they were listed at. Now, that gap between list and sale is wider than it has been in years, and a good agent knows how to use it. If you're relocating to Rochester for Mayo Clinic, I want to speak to you directly for a moment. Your window is opening up, and this data is good news for you specifically. The split market we're describing means that if you're flexible on which specific home you buy, you now have real negotiating power. You're not walking into a market where every home gets 12 offers in 48 hours. The best homes do, but they're good homes, well located, well priced, sound condition. Where you come in, you negotiate fairly and close within 30 to 45 days without the chaos of 2022. And if your Mayo start date is in July or August, the window to begin this process is right now, not next month, now. The homes that will be available when you arrive will be the ones that didn't sell this spring, and in a split market, this is not always a bad thing. Some of those homes are just fine. They just needed the right buyer. Now, one more thing worth mentioning before we close out this week. The new construction picture in Rochester is really shifting fast. D.R. Horton, the largest home builder in the country, is launching a brand new community in Rochester called Badger Heights this spring, with homes starting in the mid-400,000s. Lennar is already active here with over 100 new construction listings, and according to the Star Tribune, Rochester has now hit $1 billion in construction permits for 3 consecutive years. The reason national builders are pouring into Rochester right now is pretty simple. Olmsted County needs approximately 14,000 new housing units just to meet the demand driven by Mayo Clinic's expansion. And currently, Rochester builds about 200 single-family homes per year. Even if production hits 1,000 homes per year, which is the optimistic target, it's going to take 14 years to close that gap. That structural shortage does not go away. It means Rochester's long-term value fundamentals are locked in, even in a short-term split market. If you're relocating and you want help building a smart plan around this kind of market, make sure that you scan our QR code on the screen or click the link in the first comment. That will take you right to our Rochester Relocation Starter Kit, where we break down neighborhoods, timing, and how to win in a market like this. For buyers debating resale versus new construction right now, that's a real option worth exploring. New construction gives you known timelines, a warranty, and the ability to customize. In a market where resale sellers are adjusting prices, the value gap between new and existing may be narrower than you think. So here's the bottom line for this week. The Rochester market is not falling apart. It is not the frenzy of 2 years ago either. It has split into 2 lanes, and the lane you land in depends entirely on your preparation. Price right as a seller. Negotiate smart as a buyer. Move now if you're relocating for Mayo, and if you want to know exactly which side of the split your situation falls on, whether you are pricing a home to sell or you're searching for your next place or just figuring out a relocation timeline, please reach out to us. We work this market every single week. We know the neighborhoods, the pricing, the dynamics, and how to position our clients to win no matter which lane they're in. Thanks for watching. If this breakdown helped you understand what's happening right now in Rochester, please hit that subscribe and turn on your notifications because we put out real market update every Monday. No fluff, just what the data shows. And if you have questions about your situation and you're trying to figure out your next move, reach out to us directly. We're here to help you make the right decision for you and your timeline. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week.